Welcome to ADF-SPORTS. Welcome back to the UFC pod, ADF-SPORTS edition, and it's been a long road. No UFC since recording, which is pretty crazy to think, even though it's literally been almost 2 months, 8-week hiatus, and I'm with the UFC god himself, George. George, how you doing on this Monday?
Doing good. I've been sick this last weekend, but I'm feeling better. Hopefully I'll be good for work tomorrow. But, fingers crossed.
Yeah, listen, World War III hasn't started yet, so we can still talk about the UFC. I'm wondering how this White House card's going to shape up with how Trump's been, really pissing everybody off lately in the international stage. And it's crazy that the guy, we're going to start with this. This is a headline from around a week ago, but we might as well touch up on it. I kind of know what you're going to say, but I think you still should get the floor here. Khamzat actually all of a sudden has advertised the idea of going on this card, of fighting Poatan. So what do you think about this?
He's not fighting. He has a bunch of contenders. He's got to fight. This dude has a bit until Poatan's even thinking about him. Poatan has his eyes on John. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get shit worked out. That's why we haven't heard anything about a Poatan fight yet. But what do we know? We're not Hunter Shelby. They always have something. They always have something up their sleeve.
Very, very.
The Khamzat needs to stop. That's my my end opinion. That he needs to chill out. He just got his championship in middleweight. He has a bunch of people he hasn't even fought yet. He's got a little bit before Pereira gives him that kind of respect. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm not fighting. He's not there yet.
I agree with you, but like you said, we are not Hunter, and two huge names colliding on, the president's birthday, and we know how much cachet Dana has with the president of the U.S. and how, especially after COVID and stuff. So I don't think anything's out of the table, but I am with you. It just seems it's not the time yet. It would be cool, but it's not the time yet. But you know what it is time for? Because that's in July. It is time for UFC 234. And let me tell you, dude, this is a banger to start out the Paramount UFC era. And I think this is going to be probably the most watched card of all time until maybe the next card, just because I think this Paramount deal is going to get a lot of eyes on the UFC because it's going to shove it down their throat. UFC is, I don't know if they're going to be on, if it's just Paramount Plus, if they're also on CBS stations. I guess they are going to be televised.
It's only on Paramount because I know you need you need kind of like a pass. You need like an upgrade in Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
It's like a package.
I'm wondering.
I got the
then
package
you think they do
earlier
the
today.
Fight nights? Will the fight nights then be on CBS?
Fight nights will probably just be straight up on Paramount. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm
or
guessing
maybe everything's behind that. Maybe everything's behind that paywall. Who knows?
Yeah. It's gonna be. We'll know soon.
It's
gonna be exciting.
Like fighter pay is also going to be completely different. There's no more pay-per-view. It's very it's going to be almost like how much of a draw are you? Like it's going to almost be like negotiating in these other sports. Like, oh, what's your value?
Yeah.
You may be the champ, but what are the numbers you're bringing in?
Well,
when they're like Sean O'Malley might get paid more than some champs. Paddy Pimblett, if he's not we'll get to that later, but who knows? Paddy Pimblett's probably going to get paid more than some tenured guys because he's a draw. Who knows? Who knows how they're going to do this?
Well,
that kind of stuff will come out. There's always like one or two of those, those Instagram accounts that talk about they'll bring up the fighter pay like day after the event.
You're bringing up the money guys, the names, the draw. Well, have you noticed that this card coming up has Umar and Figgy in the prelims and also Doug Rose in the prelims? The prelims, George.
Doug Rose is actually no longer in the prelims because...
when was this development?
I don't know if you remember this. Kayla Harrison broke her neck. Sean O'Malley and Song are now the co-main, and Thug Rose is now on the main card.
They slotted her up. Well, that makes sense.
And it is a little controversial that Doug Rose got put in the main card over Figgy and Umar, but whatever. It's a little like
I will say this. I will say this.
I get it.
I kind of support it. Crazy enough, but yeah, I'll let you speak on this first. Actually, you can.
I think they want people to watch the prelims, so that fight is going to be on there for that sole fact. Like, that fight is there to draw eyes on the prelims and get more viewership for a long period. Because if Doug Rose was the featured prelim, no one would watch the prelims. That's just a fact. Umar and Figgy is an insane draw. That's why they're doing it.
I agree. And speaking of Umar Figgy, do you want to start there, or is there any prelim fight you would like to touch before we start breaking down this next card coming up?
Yes, there is one guy, Charles Johnson. No, that's not Jordan. I think it's Charles Johnson. He is on the prelims. He is a flyweight. He's number 13. And fun fact, he is the reason our current flyweight champion, Joshua Van, does not have a 0. He knocked out Joshua Van, I believe it was 2 years ago in St. Louis. I want to say it is the one loss on Van's record, and I think the flyweight division. I think he's been injured. That's why we haven't really seen him a bunch. But he is a crazy athlete. I think if he wins one or two more, they will sell that. Oh, Joshua Van's only lost this. We can make this fight again. They can do like an O'Malley Cheeto. We're like, oh, we're gonna like try and get our champ this run back to prove like, oh, he's better than the guy that he lost to. Because it was kind of the same thing as Cheeto and Sean, where Van was winning the fight, and then Johnson just landed the coolest clean shot that just put him out. I mean, so that's a guy that I'm gonna have my eye on.
Yeah, this is a guy. He had 2 fights in 2025. He lost one by unanimous decision, but then he had a knockout against Kavanaugh, which was back.
He's a very solid fighter.
Like
he could
like,
definitely make some waves in this div.
The thing that's crazy is this guy's 5'9" at 126 pounds. That's the crazy part. I mean, that's like a stick, man. I mean, Paddy Pimblett's 5'10". He's like, what, like 155?
Yeah.
Probably 160 on fight day?
Yeah.
You know, like...
One fight day, he might be like
he's like the same height as Paddy Pimblett, and Paddy Pimblett's like...
Who knows?
I
think they need to do that more. Like, they only do that for, like, certain fighters, where, like, the day after, you'll hear about, like, what their like, in octagon weight was. I think we got to do more of that.
Yeah, I agree. I think they should have, or what would be really sick, what they should do, it shouldn't count, because I think weigh-in day should be the weigh-ins. What they could do, though, is they should have a scale where they weigh right before walkout, and then after the fight, they should weigh them when they walk back into the tunnel. Wouldn't that be sick? Because I would have to, like, imagine that you probably lose, like, I bet it's like a range of like 2 to 3 pounds. Like, obviously, like when I say that's like on the high end, like it could be a half pound, obviously, if it's like, like a fucking 2-minute fight. But like at a 5-minute freaking grapple fest, or even a war where you're just slugging it, like I bet you could lose 1.5 pounds in that like 15-minute span of fighting. It would not shock me.
Yeah, no, when I wrestled in high school, when I was wrestling 220, I would weigh, like, before the match, I'd be 218, 219. I'd wrestle, and, like, let's say we had a tournament the next day, I'd step on the scale, I'd be, like, 217, 215.
Yeah, wow.
Like, I'd lose, in those 6 minutes, I'd lose, like, 2 pounds.
And I just think, like, just for data and recording purposes, like, doing that, there's no reason not to do that. That's what I think. But don't let it, because the one thing is, don't let it become this statistical thing if people are reading into it, because it's not something to read into. It's more just data that would be cool to have rather than data that actually means anything. It would just
be really cool.
Yeah, so I definitely think, I'm surprised that, I would be shocked if that idea has never been thrown around, to be honest. And maybe it hasn't, but it's definitely something that I think it's so easy to implement. You literally just put a scale right next to the tunnel and then they step on it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not... and then they just record the weight. It's not.
Yeah,
this
it could be something they do
thing.
before they do the. It could. Yeah, it could literally just be a thing they do
like right before they walk out of the tunnel. They just stand on a scale for 5 seconds. You write down the weight, and then they get off and they walk out.
It would just be like a cool statistic to have.
It would be cool to document, and also like as this league, which I was gonna say like as this is a league that like I don't know if we've seen a sports league garner the amount of popularity in as fast as the UFC has. I don't know if a league has taken the world in like 30 years. It's insane. And obviously the era has helped it with, digital media, with giant television, like global television. It's totally different landscape, but still the way like this league, the MLB has over 100 years. Same thing with the NFL. Over 100, even though the Super Bowl era only started 60 years ago, but still the NFL still has 100 years of history. And the NFL is even a league that within the past 20 years has grown tremendously into this thing that now everybody has to watch, at least in the U.S. But yeah, it is something I think as this, in 40 years, which will still be alive, the UFC, will be that is more than the entire age of the UFC. Right now, which is kind of crazy to think.
Yeah.
So
it's about, what is it, 30? I think it's 30, 35 years old.
Yeah.
From the 90s, right?
So it's this league has so much history to make, and I think just doing something as simple as that, it just adds a little bit. And in hindsight, people can look into it and turn it into something. So yeah. But holy cow, I can't believe O'Malley's on a card and he's not fucking headlining it. Let's get at it. Let's get.
Oh, that's what happens when you're not the champ.
I know.
Shit happens.
But anyways.
If you can't beat.
Yeah, it's true though. And then I can't believe.
Yeah, the card looks, and the thing that I love that they're doing is they understand. They're like, okay, our fans are not probably happy that we've been so long since we've been back. That they're doing this week, be a Gaethje Patty, and then the very next week is Diego versus Volk. It is the 31st. They are doing the next card.
I know. Well, I mean, it makes sense. They have this huge television deal. This year, at least, has to be a knockout of the park. It's what Dana said. And I think that's why I think whatever, the most unexpected thing is possible this year, because I really know Dana is firing on all cylinders. Even though Hunter's the one controlling the board right now, actually doing everything, Dana still
I think Dana
is working in the shadows.
Dana understands
he has
the
to be on
level
hands-on this year. Yeah.
He needs to be. He's been, you hear from a lot of the other MMA creators, you hear from Guru, you hear from Ariel Helwani. That's a whole other subject, my opinion of him. It feels like Dana's kind of taken a back seat almost. He doesn't care as much as he used to.
I think since 2022. I think they're right. I think since 2022 he's taken a back seat. I think you could see it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can totally see it. The promotion just feels,
I feel
different.
like the thing that's changed. Yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
The level of passion in the promotional is different. He used to do these whole big things. That's how it got announced. Now it's just Instagram Live. So don't get me wrong. When I hear that, I'm excited. I think it's really cool. I think it's a fun, interactive way to do it. But he used to have it where he was in his office, he had everything set up behind him, and he would take a curtain down and show the fights that were coming up, and he cared. It doesn't seem like that level of passion is there anymore for him. I don't know what's going on. I mean, he obviously, we know he has a lot on his plate with the B. He's doing Zuffa boxing with the UAE. He has UFC BJJ, which was cool. Which I don't know if I don't know if you saw a bunch of it. I thought it was cool at first. I watched the first couple. I watched the UFC BJJ's Ultimate Fighter that they did. It was cool. They had some pretty well known BJJ guys. They had some known wrestling guys in this. Jason Nolf was a part of it. Granted, didn't do very well, but whatever. He has all these different avenues that he's been exploring. So unfortunately, they're not all going to get the same level of attention that the UFC used to get, because it was his only project.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's tough when I kind of get it, because what I was going to say is that I think the biggest change of Dana being gone is there was this subtle layer of branding, is the way I'm going to put it, where there was this emphasis on, like, the UFC is violent. Like, the UFC is this different animal than every other sport. And now it's so much more tame to, like, I feel like they really, I think it's, whether it's Hunter or whether it was just a new strategy, they've really opened it up to be more inclusive. I feel like earlier on in the days, like, Dana was advertising this as, this is the hardcore sport. Like, if you're into this, this is the hardcore thing. And then even with the presentation of the sport and even how, the characters of all the champions were, I feel like the champions, sure, there's shit talked out, but there was blood back in the day, man. And that's what's changed. And I think Dana cultivated it, where Hunter, just lets the league be the league. He doesn't dip his fingers into all that stuff.
Yeah, Hunter kind of, he's not this big character. Like, he stays in the back a little bit. And he kind of just does his job, which, everyone does their promotion differently. It's different. He's not meant to be like, he didn't go into this feeling like, I'm going to be the face of this huge.
Yeah, I remember, like, Dana.
Unfortunately, he's been in this position where it almost feels like he has to be.
Yeah, Dana instigating the Khabib and Conor beef where they got personal, man. And he was smiling when Conor stands up. He's like, fuck you and you're fucking fucked up. He goes crazy, man. He said, F you, F your manager. Yeah. You're a terrible person. You're funding terrorists. Going off. And you can see Dana's like clapping in between the two of them. He's
loving every second of it. Just the level of passion that he used to show. It just feels so different. But again, like, shit happens. That's how it works. That's how it works when you're a business owner. Mm-hmm. You can't allocate the same amount of time to the same projects that you used to. But I like where this is going. I think it's heading in a it's only up from here, and they're starting off really strong with this first card. I think this first card is a big statement. And whether whether you agree that it should be who it is or not, that's whatever. That's your opinion. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. I think it's definitely a big draw because everyone any like new fans want to see, like, they know Patty, they know Justin, they want to see these two scrap. There's clearly, there's some. It feels like there's some preferential, not preferential, actually the exact opposite. It seems like there's a bias against a certain somebody that we could get into if you want to. It seems like someone is getting the back seat, whether it is their fault or not. That is, again, in its own conversation with Arman Sarukian. But this fight's going to be good. I think it's going to be I think we're in for a really good fight. I don't know. I think we're on the same page on this one. I think it's going to be Patty. I think Patty can win. I think this is the one person in the top five for Patty probably.
We're going to break down the whole main card, and then we're also going to talk about, obviously, the top prelim, because we can't not include that, or else you're not including the card, because that top prelim is a main card fight. Like you said, it's the draw fight. This, honestly, you can argue this could be a top 2 fight in the whole card, and it's on the prelim. I think that's a genuine argument. It could be.
Absolutely.
It's probably not, but it could be. And that's what I mean. This is a big fight that they have in this prelim spot. So we're going to break down all those fights, and then we'll quickly tease UFC 235. Obviously, I am in agreement with you that this is the Patty win. Like, this is it, man. And then from now on, it's going to be really scary. All of a sudden, everything flips for Patty. But we'll talk a big chunk about Patty in a second. But first, I want to get to Umar Figi, because I feel like this fight will take a lot quicker than breaking down Patty. Who you got?
Which one do you want to talk about first? Sorry, cut out a little
Figi.
bit. Yeah. I think, Figi's great. He has submissions. His striking's okay. But if your name isn't like Merab or Peter, I don't think you can beat Umar. Granted, I will also place a caveat that when his last fight, I definitely think Mario Batista showed that, like, hey, this guy has openings. But I just don't think Figi has that level of striking to exploit those openings. I'm going to give this to Umar. This is going to be another one where, like, I think last time I said to you, I'm taking Umar decision. I don't think he's going to finish Figi. But I do think he'll get a decisive win.
I think he can. I don't know if he will. I really do like the over in this fight for sure.
Mhm. Absolutely.
The thing is about Figgy, I really think Umar is in the perfect position to beat him. I actually think Umar. I'd be very shocked, and I actually don't know the odds, but I'm not going to be shocked if the odds have Umar as a big favorite. I personally think Umar, all of the avenues Figgy could possibly win, Umar's better than Figgy at, which is not good. Especially as the fight goes later on. Umar's going to land these body shots, and he lands at a pretty high rate. This is not a miss guy. This is a guy who his striking, like when he throws a strike, it very commonly lands. His strike accuracy is 64%. Now, I think significant strikes are are the most stupid stat in the UFC because who the fuck decides if a strike is significant besides the fighter? Like you can't. Like you can obviously knock the guy down, you rock him, but like I just think it's a dumb stat. But I won't get into that. But still, whatever. That stat clearly shows he's accurate, so I'll bring it up. He's gonna hit him with body shots, so I expect Figgy to be more tired. Figgy's going to grapple against him. Well, Umar right now is better at grappling than Figgy, so that's a problem. Unless Figgy's on the bottom and pulls some miraculous submission from bottom, he's not winning on the feet, he's not winning on the grappling, and he's going to be the more tired fighter. Like, give me Umar all day. Now, I agree with you. How long will it take for Umar to finish him? I'm not sure if he ever does, and that's what you're saying. So yeah, we're on the same page.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, very similar page. I think over and Umar is the better one, or you could take the risk and go Umar decision, which is basically the same thing. You're just trusting Figgy a little bit more, is what I'd say that bet is. Let's move on to Arnold Alva versus. Oh my God, I just merged Silva's name with Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen versus Silva. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I think, this is another fight that you can't hate Arnold Allen. He's a great guy. He's a solid fighter. He's a vet. He's been here for a while. I just don't know. It's like the same thing with Figgy and Umar. Like, what is this vet going to have against this hungry up-and-comer that is realistically a fight away from contending for maybe a belt, just because the drudge that is John Silva. I think John Silva is a better striker. I think purely on the feet, John Silva is a top 3 striker in this division, top 4 maybe. Because I'll give, it's like Volk, Diego, probably Lerone, and then you got John Silva. I don't know what Arnold Allen can do to Lord Silva. I don't know if it's going to be a finish. It could be a finish, or maybe Silva shows that his loss to Diego matured him a little bit, and now he's coming back with, okay, I'm not just going to be this absolute psycho that blitzes in, because that was ultimately his undoing in the Lopez fight. So this could go a number of ways. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, I think I have a little bit more of an expectation for Arnold Allen to actually put up a decent fight. I think there's the world where Silva rolls him. I don't know if that world's going to happen because Arnold Allen, his grappling is not good, but his wrestling's okay. Obviously, he's a striker, but his wrestling's okay enough where I don't think Silva is going to dominate him with takedowns, which is fine because Silva's also a striker. But I don't know. This is a guy who, his previous 2 losses, he kind of put on a classic against Max Holloway before he lost. That fight was sick. And I know that was 2 years ago now, or a little over 2 years ago now. But if he's that Arnold Allen, that Arnold Allen could beat John Silva, or at least make it so this fight is at least scary. The loss against Evelev in the Strickland card was worse. And then I don't remember his latest fight, but he also hasn't fought in almost a couple of years too. So we don't know what Arnold Allen. If we're getting the Arnold Allen that fought Holloway, I don't know, man. But I mean, obviously, you're saying that's not the. I'm guessing you don't think that's the Arnold Allen we're getting.
I don't know if that's the Arnold Allen we're going to get. I would like to think it is.
I think it's possible. I don't think it's Do you think it's possible though? You just don't think it's going to happen.
It's possible. I don't know, because, again, I know fighting nerds have kind of, the word exposed is not the word I would use, but it's been shown that they have some weaknesses that I think they've all learned and they're working on.
It's a must win. He's this is a awful loss if he takes it. So I agree with you.
Yeah, I'll take John Silva.
Yeah, I'll take John Silva too, but I don't know if I'm going to bet on him. Like, genuinely. I don't. And it's, for me personally, it's just like, I don't know what Arnold Allen is going to do. I don't. And I can't say I do. And honestly, the latest that we've seen has been decent. I mean, the Evil fight obviously is the outlier. That's the argument against it. But, and I think I got to watch his latest fight. I think that's what I'm going to do after this. Because his latest fight, is the latest snapshot of what he looked like. And I have no clue.
Yeah,
I think it was Chikadze. It was like 2 years ago. I don't even know how the heck to say that guy's name. I always fuck it up.
He beat Chikadze in July of 24.
Yeah,
he beat him by... Yeah, jeez. Yeah.
I feel like I got to watch that fight.
Could be good. Yeah, I was ready to watch that fight before I make a decision.
All right, Thug Rose versus Natalia Silva.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I wish I knew. I'm gonna be honest. I wish I knew more about Natalia Silva.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about her, and I think that's probably ignorance on my part. Cause I heard Valentina talking about her after she fought Zhang. They're like, oh, she's like this rising star. Clearly, she is. She's number 2. She just wins over Grasso, Andrade, and
she has some good ass wins.
Araujo. I don't really. I'm not gonna sit here and say that I have a bunch of knowledge on women's MMA. I really don't. It's definitely where I'm lacking a little bit, but Natalia Silva seems like she could be the real deal, but you can never count out Thug Rose. Thug Rose's last fight was against this up and comer in. I know her. I've seen her a million times. Miranda Maverick. Her fight against Miranda Maverick was up and comer. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, this could be one of the next big things." And Rose came in and didn't really handle her, but showed that hey, you still got a ways to go, and got the unanimous decision. So can't really count out Thug Rose. Natalia Silva, I'm sure, is pretty good. I wish I had more info on this, and that I would be able so I could make a educated decision on this, because right now I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with Thug Rose because I know the stopping power she has, and like you're saying, this is a fight I'm not betting on for sure. Because, dude, Natalia Silva has been a wrecking ball, man. Really. And I see why they really have her highly touted. She has beaten everybody she needed to get to this point at this rate. And she's also younger. The size is identical, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that Rose's wrestling on the stat sheet seems to be much better.
A little suspect.
It's better than it's better than Silva's though. Oh, you're saying Silva's wrestling is suspect?
Yeah. I'm saying that both of them are a little
Yeah, I agree. So maybe Thug Rose, maybe it's a boring fight and Thug Rose just grapples her. Because Thug Rose has done that before. She's done a slow way to try to win before, but usually she's flashy. I'll take Rose, but I honestly wouldn't be shocked if she straight up loses. Where I'm pretty confident that Figgy's that Figgy has Umar has no way to lose almost. I think Rose has plenty of ways to lose.
Oh yeah, Rose definitely has a way to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Since unfortunately we don't really have a lot of info on that, let's go to the next one, which is
this is one. Dude.
You know what? You and I love him. I am probably picking against him.
I know, and this is just a younger, faster, better version of Derek. It's like the next Derek Lewis fighting Derek Lewis. Which one am I going to take? The one that's younger or the one that's pants fall down by the second round?
Yeah.
That's the problem. So, yeah. Oh, my God. Someone's face is hitting the floor, unless they both get too tired. But I think someone's face is hitting the floor. And I'm really excited.
Yeah.
These fights are timeless, man. They gotta keep making these. I love them. Derek Lewis fights another giant guy. I love it. And this giant guy is probably gonna beat his ass. But still, dude. You even look at the fucking like Acosta's build is just way more compact than Lewis. Lewis is like I said, his pants are falling down by the second round.
I'm gonna do the same thing I always do. I'm not gonna toss it. I'm not gonna this if I do a parlay. This will not. I will definitely the usual straight bet of Derek Lewis first round KO because he's been able to do that for 2 years.
Yeah. I think I will straight Derek
If that
Lewis
doesn't
first
win,
round
it doesn't
KO,
win. Who knows?
I think Cortez Acosta, dude, he's even bigger than Derek Lewis.
I think Waldo wins this. He is Gon and Tom, or if we have to do Gon and Volkov for an interim, and then maybe Cortez fights the winner of that. But I'll go with Waldo. I think Waldo's a pretty complete.
Waldo.
He's up there with like the Volkovs, with the Almeidas, with the Gons. I think he's a very, very talented heavyweight.
Yeah, he's just way better than Derek Lewis. But Derek Lewis could just knock you out anyways. Oh my God.
All right.
There's this fight, and this fight's very interesting because
I don't think it's interesting at all. I think it's pretty decisive who's going to win this. I think this is a match. I think it's a matchup.
Yeah, it kind of is a matchup nightmare for Song.
Yeah, this is a matchup nightmare for Song Yadong. Sugar Sean's coming back after his 2 straight losses to the former champ Murad Dvalishvili. He's going up against number 5 Song Yadong. Song is a very talented fighter, but everything, like, if you were to build a person to beat Song Yadong, it just is Sean. He's rangy, his kicks are fast, and he's just a bet in his. And he's a lot of sticking with his footwork is better, his head movement's better. He hits hard. It's like the same. It's like what we've been saying for a while. Everything Song Yadong does, the way O'Malley does, leaps and bounds better. And once again, I'll say it. I already said it like 30 seconds ago. If you were to build a human being to have the game plan of beating Song Yadong, it just is Sean O'Malley. I don't know how Sean can lose this. I'd be super shocked if somehow Song pulled this out, but I think O'Malley's going to get a decisive win over this. If not, maybe even finish him.
I think your take is growing on me. To be honest, I'm starting to my faith in Sean's been like I think he's going to win the fight, but I've been scared for him. I think you're really convincing me to be a lot less scared of him. Honestly.
I'm not scared of this at all.
Okay, I like to hear.
If it was him and Umar, I'd be shitting bricks.
Yeah, Umar's spooky, man. Umar's spooky.
If you are not the top 3 guys, if you are not Umar, Merab, or Jan, I think Sean beats everybody.
True.
I think Sean beats everyone besides those 3.
Well, how about this? If they were to fight in the same division, would he beat Paddy Pimblett? Because that's our next fight. Oh man, Paddy. Listen, I'll start off with this fight. This is a faller versus a riser. It's simple as that. Paddy, since probably is one of the fighters in the past 2 years, his jump from skill and also prominence is crazy. This guy was a meme, man. A meme. And then all of a sudden he won, and then he won, and then he won, and then he won. And then there was a few fights where, it was like, oh, is Paddy going to win this? Oh, he's going to win this really, really big. And then the next time they give him a better fighter. What does he do? He beats him again. He's fought better fighters than Gaethje right now, I should say. He has. And he is going to be better. I think this is the time for Paddy to... He might reach the top after this fight, but the top is coming for Paddy. This is going to be the best version of Paddy we've ever seen. I refuse to not think that, and I am stoked to see it. I think
this has to be.
There's a chance he puts out Gaethje really fast. I really think that. I think he might actually.
I think he has the ability to.
That's
He
what I
totally
think is
can.
going to happen.
And I definitely think in that Chandler fight, where a lot of people were like, "Oh, Patty's probably gonna get like a decision because it's Michael Chandler." Nobody, and if you sit here and say you were, nobody thought that Patty Pimblett was gonna finish Michael Chandler because Charles wasn't able to do it. Dustin couldn't do it. Gaethje couldn't do it. Nobody's really been able to finish him, and Patty did. And we can go like, yeah, whatever, that's MMA math. It is, absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say it's not. Patty did what a lot of people thought wasn't possible. He finished Michael Chandler. His hands are getting – his striking is only getting better every time he fights.
I know. And the scary thing is his jiu-jitsu's nasty, dude. His jiu-jitsu's disgusting.
Oh, yeah, and his grappling is so overlooked.
I know.
Everyone forgets. And like when he subbed Bobby Green, everyone was shocked.
I know.
Like, he's been
in
doing
the first
that.
round,
like, that's what he does.
In the first round, I went, holy crap. I remember, did we have Patty sub? I think we did.
I think you and I did Patty sub, and I'm like, maybe it happened.
I remember it happened in the first round. We're like, what? I couldn't believe it happened in the first round. I was like,
this has to be the best version of Patty we've ever seen because he is going against the human, we call him the human highway, I call him the human car accident, Justin Gaethje. He is going to make this, the only way which Gaethje can win this fight is make this as ugly as possible. He needs to make this an ugly, gritty fight where Patty needs to dig deep, and that's the only way Gaethje can win this, and that's it.
Other than that, like there's just
Patty is going to run away with this fight. I think even the fact that Patty is only a minus 230 by itself, that is a steal of a pick. I think he should be even. I think he should be
even higher too. I do. This Patty, like this is we don't know. Like I'm really expecting like him to be elite here. I am. That's the thing. Like I want to see elite Patty. Like I think it's coming. So I'm happy you're on board and you actually are in agreement because I don't think the world's ready for it, to be honest. George, I just want to take a look at 325 because you said something interesting about it where you said you weren't aware of this card's game, man. And I kind of agree with you. I'm actually excited because we get to see Killian Silikide again, that Australian guy who knocks everybody out in the prelims.
He's awesome.
That
was one of the first times I saw a fight. Was like, wow, I might have just saw someone die.
Seeing him fight is gonna be sick, and it's. But yeah, what would you say? I guess I'm gonna say, what's your favorite fight in this one? Because honestly, for me, I'm gonna let you go first.
So obviously, I love Killian Silikide. I really like him, but I think fight of the night, it's going to be either the feature or the co-main. I think Dan Hooker and BSD is going to be a fucking war. I'm so excited for that fight. I think that's going to go fucking crazy. Dan Hooker drags everyone into wars, and BSD his nickname's the God of War for a reason. That fight is going to go insane. But then you also see the featured bout, Fiziev versus Ruffy, two insanely dynamic strikers. Oh my god, that's going to be a high flying fight. And what do you think?
Yeah, I'm between Ruffy and Fiziev, and then Hooker at BSD. I think Hooker BSDs could be interesting because I do think the skill level in Hooker BSD is similar. I think Benoit might be all around just as good or maybe like a little more proven than Dan Hooker is, at least at like winning in situations like this. But Hooker's Hangman Hooker, man, and he always brings the fight and it's always fun. So that fight I think is going to be sick. And then oh, man, because also this main event's going to be crazy too, but I'm going to get to the main event in a moment because I want to talk about Ruffy Fiziev first. Dude, Ruffy Fiziev could just like be one of these fights where a lot of damage is thrown out. I don't know if either go down because they're both tough guys, but these are guys who have both brought down really good fighters. Ruffy obviously knocking down Ian Gary.
No, that's Prates.
That was Prates. My bad. Ruffy knocking
wrong
out
wrong Brazilian fighting nerd.
Yeah.
King Green.
Yeah. Knocking out King Green, going off. Did get subbed by BSD, who I was just talking about.
Yeah, they definitely threw him to the wolves a little early.
This main event, I don't know if this one's going to be exciting, but I know it's going to be good. I don't know. I feel like now that both guys have seen each other, they're really going to try to read into what they think they can counter. And I actually think this fight could end up starting off very slow. Because remember, this is going to be a high-level fight. Diego Lopez has only gotten more experience, which I think was his biggest knock when he was going up against Volk. And that means actually taking your time against Volk to, take down what he has planned for you. Because Volk's going to have a plan. Volk has also seen what Lopez can do, and he might be a little bit more careful because Lopez dropped him in the middle of the fight. So I don't know if I'm going to sit here and say this
Lopez dropped him a couple times.
Yeah, I'm not so sure this fight is going to be this slugfest war. I don't know if I could convince myself of that. What I do know is that both fighters really are going to put on, their A game. I don't think that this is going to be a domination by any of the two.
No.
I'd be surprised if one of them dominates the other. There could be a finish, but if there's a finish, I think the fight might have been close up to that finish. So, I guess I'm going to go Ruffy Fiziev for the one I think is going to be the craziest, but the most high-level fight is certainly this main event.
Yeah, definitely. This rematch for this main event, I love both of these guys. Obviously, I've been super high on Diego since he was the up and coming star.
Yeah. Also, save your pick. Sorry to cut you off, but
he's the up and coming star. This fight has the ability to be. I definitely think the Jean Silva fight for Diego was a big proving ground for him. Because he did go in like he usually does at the beginning of that fight and blitz him and tried to blitz John Silva after what he did with Volk the first time, and it didn't really work. I definitely think, and you kind of saw it in the second round of that John Silva fight, before the knockout, where he realized, okay, I can sit back. I can pick my shots. I'm a better striker than I give myself credit for. I have good grappling. I'm pretty sure he took down John Silva in the first round, too. He remembered, okay, I can wrestle. I can do all this. I'm a well-rounded fighter. I know my striking is what got me to the dance, but I'm going to show everyone that there's more to my game. And I'm hoping this can, and I think with what he learned in that fight, and when they fight, September, I think. I want to say it was September he fought Silva.
I think you're right.
I think even with that, it's 11. It's going to be just under 11 months removed from their first fight. I think in just those 11 months, we're going to. Diego Lopez is a completely different fighter.
I think you're spot on with that. And that's why I'm expecting that fight not to be as bloody as maybe some might think. But where do you want to start? Do you want to just do the main card? Start with Silky and work our way up?
Are there any prelims or early prelims that are...
Brundage is fighting, but he just seems to be a washed-up person. That guy Finney's fighting. This big guy.
Yeah.
He looks fighting.
Torres Finney, the guy that's super fucking short and could probably make lightweight or could make welterweight. Yeah, the fight with Valentin was so gross. His first fight was so bad.
I know.
If anything, I think this is a very much not to the level of Kelvin Gastelum, because Finney doesn't exactly look like he has a lot to lose, but I think he could probably get down to 170. I think he probably should. But every chance. I don't know what Dana White and Hunter love about these two brothers. You will always see a Tafa on the feature prelim. And Junior Tapa going down to light heavyweight. Has he? I know he went down. I don't remember if he fought at light heavyweight yet. I think he did. Was that a light heavyweight fight? I don't remember. Oh, let me just. Okay, so he is 0-1 in light heavyweight bouts. He fought Tokos. Oh, Tuco Tokos. This guy went up. Pretty sure because he lost to Shara, if I'm not mistaken. But the Tafas are always fun. They're brawlers. Billy Elikana. I've heard that name before. I wish I knew more about him to make like a synopsis of what I think is going to happen. It's probably going to be what it usually is, where Tafa looks like this super, like, and he's dominating for the first 30 seconds, gasses out, and then Elikana does whatever he wants. But yeah, I'm always going to show love to the or shine light on the Tafa brothers, because they're vets, and I always tune into their fights.
Yeah, hopefully Tafa gets a nice little dub. That'd be cool to see. But let's go to a non-vet, at least, with his short tenure in the UFC.
I'm pretty sure he was 2025. I think he was the rookie of the year for the debut of the year.
Well, Sal Khalid is nasty, man.
Yeah.
He actually came from Eternal MMA. I don't know that.
I'm not familiar. I truly did think he came from...
He won the championship in whatever Eternal... I'm wondering if Eternal MMA is like a 24 under or something.
It could also just be like a regional, like New Zealand promotion.
He won that event and then went straight to the Contender Series and has not lost since.
Wow.
And
okay.
He beat Huckfest, obviously, which is a legit win. That is a legit fighter
that's crazy.
Nothing. So yeah, this guy kind of has not lost in a long time, and it's just this this deadly no joke arsenal of kicks and punches. It's almost similar to an O'Malley, but I think that's more the build. The fighting style is definitely different, but the excitement reminds me of him, and like the look in a way.
Yes.
But this guy, wow. Very exciting, and they're giving him, an experienced fighter. They're putting the experience wall in front of him to see if he, okay, let's see if you could beat a UFC level guy who's not going to be a free can to kick. In theory, obviously, for a good UFC fighter, he's a can, but for a average to above average MMA fighter in general, this guy's no joke. So, what do you think? Do you think Killian continues to roll?
I think Killian's going to continue to roll. I think Killian is like up there with, I think his ceiling is obviously be one of the best of the best in the lightweight division. I think he is better than Rongzhu. Again, I wish I knew more about Rongzhu. I really don't. I was just looking some fight history to see if anything could jog my memory of who he is. I really can't think of anything, but he hasn't fought in a long time, or not a long time, like 10 months. But yeah, I think this is kind of like they're doing another stepping stone for Salkild, or Killian's. I don't know how to say his last name. I always say it wrong. I think it's Salkild. But I see what you mean with the O'Malley comparison. They both have this very unique look to them. O'Malley, obviously, with the rainbow hair. Salkild with the his hair's like not super, but it's definitely the mustache. I think this is just another stepping stone for him to start get there. I think after this they'll probably give him top of my head who I can't even think of who a gatekeeper for lightweight would be. But he'll probably get like his first like a top like number 14, number 15 fighter next after this one. While we're talking about it, let me see. While
you check that, like who they'd give him, I agree with you. That's.
Oh my God, who do you give him? Oh, no, he wins. If he wins this, you give him Chandler.
You give him Chandler
because below Chandler is Manuel Torres, Ruffy, and ZM. Those are like all up and coming guys. Yeah. If you're gonna give him a vet, that's like a gatekeeper to like the top 12. you give him Chandler. And I truly think he has the ability to like make that fun. But
Chandler's
you know,
a big jump.
first and foremost, he has. Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, but that's lightweight. It's just insane. Yeah. It's always a talent pool. But he has to get past Rongzhu first. I think he will. I think he'll pass this test with flying colors. Either, you know, I'm not going to say straight up, oh, he's going to knock this guy out, no problem. But, you know, he's going to, hopefully he can impose his will and show that he's getting better. I'd like to see, I'd like him to show, like, oh, I'm not just this striker. I want to see, like, just a little bit of grappling. I don't need a submission. I just need to show, I need some, like, evidence of, like, oh, I'm not just this, like, pure striker. I can do anything. That will truly prove to me that he has the ability to contend in this super stacked lightweight
division. This guy must be a very, very high prospect, because after they put him on Dana White Contender Series and then 3 mainline UFC cards. That's his UFC history. So I'm wondering, we should dig into this guy, honestly, because clearly the UFC is giving him better fights than an average prospect.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I got Southkill to win. I think he's going to continue his momentum.
Yeah. Now, like we said it last card, like a little bit ago. They love these fights. They love these fights.
This is the same thing. Same thing as Waldo and Derek.
They realize the fans want these, so they just throw them together in every other card now.
Dude. The fight's in Sydney. The card's in Sydney. You know, you can't have a Sydney, right? Sydney. You can't have a Sydney card without Tai Tuivasa. You can't. There's no Sydney card without Bam Bam. It doesn't exist. He's always on it. He's always on the main card, and for good reason. He brings the action every time he fights. Whether it's a loss or a win, he puts on a show. And him going up against Talison Teixeira, who his last fight was, I'm pretty sure he lost to Derek Lewis. They were like a main event fight night, and Derek Lewis knocked him out in the first. That's just Derek Lewis. I think this was a bad idea, giving him basically rinse and repeat. They just gave him another Derek Lewis. I don't think Talison hits hard. He's a very big, heavy, he's huge. I think he's like 6'6", 6'5". He's gigantic. But he didn't do well with Derek because he wasn't ready for the power that Derek has. Bam Bam is the same thing. And also, I would preface, I really love Bam Bam. I really like Tai Tuivasa. I want to pick Tai if this goes past like a minute and a half. You know, like if this goes past like halfway through the first round, I'd be shocked. A, B, Tai runs out of gas. I will pick Tai because I know one of these guys is going to sleep.
You know what's crazy, George? I'm also picking Tai. A shoey is destined in this card. I feel it. With 2026 needs a shoey. I want to see Teixeira's face on the octagon floor. Give me Tai. Hey-o, it's happening. He's gonna try to slip the left, and he's gonna come in with the right, and bam, this guy is going down.
Holy shit! Tai hasn't fought in a minute.
That actually kind of makes
He hasn't fought since August of 2024. What the fuck? That's you know how long ago it was. It was Rosenstrike who got cut.
Dude, and he's also been on a skid, man.
Yeah, but look who he's fought. He's fought really good guys. Like Talison Teixeira is not Alexander Volkov. He's not Marcin Tybura. He's not Rosenstrike.
Yeah, no, he's not.
But I agree. I want to see the shoe. Again, like I said, there's no Sydney card and no Tai. There's no Sydney card and no shoey. When Tai Tuivasa is in the Sydney Olympic Park, when he is in Sydney Olympic Park, Australia, in Kudos Bank Arena, all of his attributes, it feels like, are like plus 10. He's better at everything when he fights in Australia. He feeds off the crowd's energy. Bro, you can see it just on TV, and this is like bucket list for me. I would love to go to an Australia card because Australian MMA fans are like I don't even think they're human. I think they're like they're rabid
breed,
animals.
Dude,
they're rabid animals.
Dude,
I love it.
They took like every single country, and then in the U.S. they divided it by state, or there it might have been regions actually, and Australia has the most amount of fans in an area, like UFC fans, proportionate to like the amount of land, like amount of people.
Yeah.
Like it's like the highest, but it's just crazy down there. That's why there's so many big Australian MMA guys. They just have such a big base behind them. But it is really cool seeing it. And it would be sick if Ty lit that place on fire. It'd be so sick. But yeah, let's get to a fight that I actually think, like I said, this could end up being the best fight of the night.
This might be one of the first times I don't have an answer for you.
I was about to say the same thing. Do you want to break this one down, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
This is a fight where I think Ruffy's in a serious like, oh my God, I have to avoid a skid situation, and Fiziev is not the person I want to see. Like, if I'm, like, the fighter that should be feeling better going into this fight is Fiziev. I think Fiziev can you think, okay, I can use this guy as a stepping stone and get back into that top echelon conversation that everybody was having me in a little bit ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Fiziev, his skill set is so broad, and that's just like this is a test that Ruffy has really not seen before, and a test that when he's seen like anything close to it, he kind of failed it with Benoit, and I think there is things that Fiziev is going to do better than Benoit. That's what scares me for Ruffy. The thing about Ruffy, though, is Fiziev has a little bit of a sketchy track record against dangerous fighters, and Ruffy's a dangerous fighter. You remember, Gaethje was able to hit him with some really hard strikes, and I actually thought Gaethje was going to put him down. I thought he was going to put him down the first time they fought for sure. But
Fiziev's chin is made of granite.
Yeah, and then he also got knocked out by Ganrod. So it's like
knocked out by Gamrot. I think he's Gamrot's only KO win.
And the thing is, like, if Ruffy throws a spinning kick and it lands, this guy's going down. And that's why, that's kind of how I feel. Exactly that. So I guess I'll actually take Fiziev, believe it or not, because I mean, I really think Ruffy is gonna have to land like that. Like he's gonna have to knock him out, and Fiziev gets knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. Like I guess Fiziev can just easily get tapped, but it's gonna be a good one. I'm excited.
This is going to be oh yeah, absolutely. This is debatably going to be fight of the night. This is the ability to be fight of the night. The winner of this has the ability to have performance of the night. The thing with Rafael Fiziev, and like you said, when he fights dangerous fighters, it's kind of just in general. Rafael Fiziev's the only reason people don't talk about him when they talk about fight IQ is because Michael Chandler exists. Rafael Fiziev has a track record of making some of the dumbest decisions in fights, in like high stakes fights when it matters, like big moments, like the fight with Gaethje. I feel like I could have swore like Gaethje was very obviously throwing a knee, and Fiziev like went to take a shot like straight into it. He does these stupid things that jeopardize himself, and that's probably why he got knocked out by Gamrot. I don't even remember the Fiziev Gamrot fight. I'm sure if I looked it up, it would jog my memory. But Fiziev's fight IQ is just like when he's like mid fight, he throws his game plan like out the window. So I think Ruffy has a shot. It's going to be super hard. They're both insane strikers, and I think Fiziev is going to want to keep this on the feet, same as Ruffy. Ruffy's height is definitely his best friend. He's going to have to keep this at range as much as possible. But I don't know. If it's striker versus striker, I have a hard time counting out Ruffy, because the one thing the fighting nerds always do is they stick to their game plan, and I think that will always be their biggest strength. Fuck, who do I take? Damn. For the
Trust me,
fuck of it, I'll
after
go
you make the
Mauricio
pick, you're
Ruffi.
gonna feel worse about it.
For for argumentative sake, for us to have parity, I'll take Ruffi.
Honestly, I can't believe I'm going against my favorite fighting nerd right now, and you're taking him. It's really disgusting. But
I can't believe you're going against your fighting nerd. This is what's disgusting. This was just your fighting nerd.
The problem is there's just things that, there's things that Fiziev has seen that he's beaten. Yes, he's also lost to it, but, Fiziev has things that Ruffi has seen and has not triumphed ever against. And that's that. But I agree with you. We're dude, I want Ruffi to knock this fool out. So it's
yeah.
All right.
I want Ruffi to floor him.
Now let's go. Ugh, this card is so awesome. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Here we go. I'm gonna let you take this one first because I'm sure you have a ton to say.
Okay. All right, we got the co-main event. We got Dan the Hangman Hooker against the God of War, Benoit Saint Denis. This fight is everything you're expecting. Dan Hooker and BSD are very similar, and they just love violence. I've said this to you, and I've said this to our friends a million times. If MMA wasn't around, Dan Hooker would probably be admitted to a psych ward. I truly think he's a psychopath. He kind of is. He just straight up is a psycho. Benoit is just as crazy. He's French Special Forces, for fuck's sake. This fight is going to be so good, but the thing that I'm really worried about is Benoit's the ability to make this fight very boring, and he could do what Armand did to Dan and just wrestle him, because Benoit's wrestling is very good, and Dan's takedown defense is good. I just don't know how. I don't know if it's. This fight will really gauge with me how good Benoit's grappling is if he chooses to use it. If he doesn't, though, and he does this, for the crowd's sake, it makes it a fucking war. I don't think BSD wants that fight. He's gonna learn very quickly he doesn't want that fight. If Dan Hooker drags you into a war, 10 times out of 10, Dan Hooker will find a way to get a split decision. Because I love him, I'm taking Hangman. I'm taking Hangman in this fight. Do I feel good about it? Absolutely not. I'm taking Hangman, though.
I just don't know if Hooker has enough to beat.
I don't feel good about it at all, but I'm taking Hangman.
I'm definitely not taking Dan Hooker. Oh, do I want him, though? This is another one where I'm really betting against my heart. I'm just thinking, I guess in 2026, I'm going against my heart's desires, because I just think Benoit's too much right now. There's a chance that I agree. It's he puts him in this war, but how long is Benoit going to take dings in the face, unless he gets knocked out, where he's going to be all right, fuck it, let me grapple him, if it's not working. There's a chance also that Benoit somehow knocks him out, because Benoit hits hard. He's not a guy who doesn't hit hard. So I don't know. I can't count Dan in, unfortunately, or you can't count Dan out. Well, I'm gonna start, because I think it seems like we're split on this Benoit fight and this Hooker fight. We both think it's gonna be sick. Height is basically identical. Benoit has the age advantage.
How many? What's the age gap? I know Hooker's a little older, right?
30 to 35. So
Hooker a little older?
Yeah, Benoit's 30.
Hooker's way older than I thought he was. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm still taking Dan.
Fair enough.
My opinion has not changed.
Well, let's get to 37-year-old now with Alexander Volkanovski. Here it goes. Volk has to fight the Titan again, and Lopez has to fight the Titan again, and I'm really, really, really scared for Lopez, because it's Volk. It's fucking Volk, the mini P.E.K.K.A. He's insane.
One of the greatest of all time.
One of the greatest to ever do it. But
he wins this, I'll put him top 5. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
He wins this, I'll have him top 5.
But Diego also, I really believe in him. He has the power to knock a Titan out. He does. And he's gotten better and better and better and better. And he gave Volk a fight in that first fight. He gave him one. And he cried. And his family got beside him. And he fucking, man, he's on a mission. And then after that fight, too, he got better. He did. And now, I mean, man, like you said, that Silva fight was exactly the jolt he needed. That's what he needed. And now it's time to knock Volk out. That's what I'm saying right now. It is time to knock Volk out and knock the king off the throne. I'm not joking, man. I'm not joking.
I know you're not.
That's what, man, I'm going to back Lopez. I am. I think he's going to land this.
Yeah.
I think he's going to land it. He's going to land it. I have to believe he's going to land it. I have to. So, yeah, I'm taking Lopez. I think it's going to be a very close one, but I can easily see Volk winning. So, yeah.
Yeah. Old heads will say it's Jose Aldo. Everyone knows the greatest featherweight of all time is Alexander Volkanovski, and for good reason, too. He has ran this division for probably somewhere close, like almost 10 years, 8 years, something like that. He's been like one of the top guys for the longest time. His only losses have been twice to Islam, and even then I'll put an asterisk towards one of them because I don't think he lost one of them, but whatever. And then the quick turnaround, stupid choice, against the current lightweight champ, Ilia Topuria. Beating Volk is so hard to do. But the saying is, you can be the greatest fighter in the world. The one person who's undefeated you'll never beat. You can't beat Father Time, and Volk is 37. That is insane. I think he's probably the oldest champ under 170 pounds ever. Because I think that was a stat that no one under 170 pounds and lower, above the age of 35, has ever defended or won the title. I'm pretty sure that's a stat. Besides him,
man,
he defies the laws of time. He shouldn't. That last fight with Diego went the exact opposite of what I thought. But like I said earlier, I think Diego learned from that, and then his fight with John Silva, he learned even more. We're getting a completely different Diego Lopez in this fight. I truly believe Diego Lopez is the only person in the featherweight division currently that has the ability to beat Alexander Volkanovski. I've been riding with Diego since I rode with him through every single fight. I have never picked against Diego Lopez, and I am not stopping now.
Yes!
I am picking Diego Lopez to get his belt, to finally claim to be on the top of that mountain that he has been working his ass off for. The world knows it. Diego knows it. He will be the featherweight champ come January 31st.
Book it. Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's go. Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic card. It really is. UFC 2026, it's back. The 8 weeks got us so hungry, and man, these two cards are so good. What did we do to deserve this? It's genuinely how I feel right now. Saturday is fight week, so it's fight week, dude. It's crazy that it's fight week. It really is.
I still think it's so crazy that they're doing numbered events back to back weekends. That's insane. That's
baby!
Unheard of.
2026. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
This is the time, man. This is the
UFC in 2026.
January is it, bro.
The first year of the Paramount deal.
Dude,
Yeah, this is gonna be awesome.
Patty. So we got 2 new champions to start the first month of 2026. That's how the UFC is starting. That's how the Paramount deal is starting. Let's go. Let's go. Do you have anything else? Is there anything on the top of your mind? Any other event?
On 325? No. 2 weeks after that, though, yeah.
I have a question.
Yes,
for
I
you,
do, because I was just. What?
No,
Yeah, sure, of course, anything. You speak first, and then I'll see what I'm talking about.
Do you think Tom Aspinall is the champion by 2027?
Here's like how worried I am about that eye poke. Because there's word about Adams Camp that he still can't fully see, and it's like 2 months removed, 3 months removed. Like his right eye is still like not fully he can't fully see.
Yeah, dude. What if
and he's getting like they say he's getting like another eye surgery around the time of the Sydney card. If that doesn't go well, we might have another Bisping where he has to be done. We could lose Tom Aspinall. We really, it's like it's a pessimistic view. It's a horrible thing to say, but it's like we need to be prepared for that, for that possibility that the eye damage he sustained was so severe, and so like I think he's already had like 4 surgeries since the fight, and he still can't fully see. So there's a world where Tom Aspinall is done. He has to retire. He has to go into coaching, or he goes into commentating, or something like that. I don't know.
That sucks, man.
But if that is not the case, and he does in fact come back, and he's able to fight, I stand by. I do not believe there is a heavyweight on this planet better than Tom Aspinall. So yes, I do believe that by the end of this year, if he is healthy and is able to come back, Tom Aspinall will still be the heavyweight champion of the world. I do stand by that. I will stand by that he will still have that belt.
So what were you going to say before that?
So, because you and I mainly do these talks for the numbered events. February 21st, it is in Houston. We got Sean Strickland versus Fluffy Hernandez. This is what I mean. Like Paramount's just getting crazy fights. Like Dana had all these fights in his fucking back pocket. Just like, I'm gonna dish these out. Like now that I'm no longer to deal with ESPN. That fight is gonna be so good because it's 2 super weird styles. I think they're gonna mesh perfectly together. Like Fluffy with his boxing, and the way he fights with the jab, he throw some boxing combinations, and you think he's throwing an overhand, immediately double leg, and he almost drills, like wrestling drills. Will take you down and let you right back up, and just keep going, just to gas you out. And Strickland, he's one of the hardest people to game plan for with using the Philly shell in MMA. He has his, the teep kick, the only kick that he seems to know how to throw. That fight I'm so excited for. Maybe it's just because I'm a Sean Strickland fan why I'm excited for it, because if you're not a Sean Strickland fan, you probably fucking hate his fight style. That is going to be such a good fight. I think that's going to be such a good fight. But yeah, I had to talk about that. I can't believe that's not a fight. That's not a,
bro. Strickland's getting up.
That's not the fact that that's not on a numbered event to me is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got.
Super excited. That fight, we'll break down that fight in a future episode for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, 100%.
That one, I kind of want to dig into the weeds. I gotta watch much more Fluffy tape before I'm ready to stamp my seal, because Fluffy's been on a roll, man. But
he was originally gonna fight what's his name? He was originally gonna fight RDR, but he got hurt during the Leadze fight, so Brendan Allen had to step in.
Yeah, I gotta watch more Fluffy, dude. I do.
Dude, he's so much fun to watch.
I know. Well, that was an awesome little doubled up card app. We kind of knocked out 2 birds with 1 stone. Hope everybody has a great week, great fight week after 8 boring ass weeks of no fighting. We finally get a fight night and then another fight night. Well, see you guys in the next one. We're going to have a lot more to do now that the UFC hiatus is over and the Paramount era begins. Have a good one.